Thank you for joining us and welcome back to the Challenger Face-Off here on Hitbox TV. I'm Nature. Joining me is Puddington. This is the fourth game between the Unicorns of Love and Unfaculty.
Yes, it is. We are now 2-1 in favor of Unfaculty. So if they win the next game, they will be taking the whole series, taking the, I believe, $200 prize and advancing to the next stage of the tournament to compete for larger prize pools later on. So a lot riding on this, and right now Unicorns of Love are going to have to do some serious work to plan around it, because that last game they just didn't have an answer to Jax.
Yeah, and I felt like the Unfaculty team really had a surgical precision about finally ending the game, where they just took a turret when they were able to, and then of course had the Jax split pushing if they needed to do that. And they really had very little mistakes in their game, I feel. But for now, the Jax is being banned out by the Unicorns of Love, so we will not be seeing that one again here, as the Unfaculty team did ban LeBlanc, Trundle, Nidalee, and on the other side, alongside that, the Jax, the Ziggs, and the Shyvana have been banned.
So, interesting here that Unfaculty have opted to first pick out the Kha'Zix here. They keep that away from Unicorns of Love. I keep trying to call them Unicorns of Lions. I have no idea why. I did this yesterday too, or the day before when we were actually casting them, as opposed to yesterday. But strange one on that choice, because yes, it does keep it out of the hands of Zigzachi, and yes, he was clearly very skilled on that champion, but it didn't work out that well last game. And are they going to run it in the jungle? Well, if so, then they're leaving open several really strong junglers at the moment. I mean, Xin Zhao, for one. We may see them pick that up in the future, and they're certainly leaving open Lucian, who is, I think we can safely say, pretty much the strongest AD carry at the moment, just in terms of being really safe, while also being strong at every single stage of the game.
Alright, so interesting here is that Vardogs did run the Jinx last game, where Sidron ran the Lucian, so the Lucian will be going over towards that Unicorns of Love side, and the Lulu will as well. So that's going to be a Lulu, which is on Sigu the last game around. So let's see whether the Unicorns of Love can do what the Unfaculty team did last game. Now, you might see Mountain on the Leona again. He did have quite a good game last game, so it would make sense if he picked that one up here.
Would certainly make a decent amount of sense. I don't think they intend to run Kha'Zix top on the side of Unfaculty. So yeah, Renekton, if you don't know what you're up against, is a very strong pick. They will be leaving themselves somewhat open to the Ryze pick, but so far neither of these teams seems to have really prioritized Ryze nearly as much as the majority of teams we see at the moment. We'll still see if it's in their champion pool at all in the near future, but right now, well, I can't see what they're picking. They did lock in the Renekton Leona, though.
Yep, they have in fact locked in the Renekton and the Leona, so it's going to be a bully in that top lane, and a someone with quite a lot of all-in potential in that bottom lane. Of course, a lot of damage there if you manage to combo it right. Zodiaz and Vardogs right now deciding what they're going to pick up for their team. Vardogs, of course, has already secured his Lucian for this game. Zodiaz in that middle lane, not quite, or he'll probably run the Lulu, but Zodiaz not quite decided what he's going to pick up. It seems like it's going to be a Xin Zhao here for Master of Sheepy, and a Thresh for Hylissang.
Seeing the Xin Zhao again, seeing the Thresh again, a lot of picks here, very, very similar from Unicorns of Love. They are obviously picking themselves that Lucian, which is a very, very strong pick for them. And they've saved they've essentially put their bot lane in a situation where there's very, very little Unfaculty can do to win out directly. And last time, even though they picked themselves into a slightly disadvantaged matchup, they actually did very, very well there. So that's going to be actually putting quite a lot of pressure on Unfaculty to run a 2v1 swap up. Since if they get a straight 2-on-2, there's now a high chance that Unicorns of Love will come out on top in that 2-on-2 to a significant degree. That Ezreal pick that's being hovered over would actually fit with that if they choose to go for it. Caitlyn much the same, although Caitlyn is a little more ambiguous. since a 2v1 with Ezreal or Caitlyn is very, very strong, they're good tower pushing champions in the early game, assuming you're able to push the tower, which you always can if it's a 2-on-1.
Alright, so it is indeed going to be a Caitlyn and Orianna here for the InFaculty team. Stigu, interestingly enough, picking up the champion. Zodiaz ran last game, and the other way around here, as Hylissang right now is going to have to pick up the last champion for his team. It's probably going to be a top laner here. They'll have to pick up something that works against the Renekton, hovering over the Yasuo, hovering over the Shen. I haven't seen this Shen in quite a while. Of course, he has a lot of utility for your team, and you don't have to run that teleport. But in the end, rather, it's going to be an Irelia here for the InFaculty, or for the Unicorns of Love.
Interesting they chose to go with Irelia in the end. They are picking it into Renekton. That's a difficult matchup, but a good Irelia can come out on top against a Renekton, so we'll see if Visixachi is able to swing it. A Shen might have been a safer pick there, but Irelia has the potential to seriously carry a game. Shen will win in a matchup against Renekton in the long run, but it takes a while, but he doesn't lose very hard in the process, so you're kind of balancing it. It's basically a show of confidence in Visixachi here. So we do have the full lineups, and this time it does look like Unicorns of Love have picked themselves a little bit more mobile of a team than they had last time, and they've also got a pretty decent team fight to boot. So we'll see if they get ahead with Irelia. This time it may be them exerting the pressure with the split pushing.
Alright, stick around, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a nice little highlight coming up right now in the commercial break. And when we come back, it is, of course, going to be the second game, or the fourth, rather, between InFaculty and the Unicorns of Love.
This one, he also used the Shockwave for the stun, or the knock-up, I should say. So it wasn't actually too badly played by Warrior.
No, indeed. He's doing a decent job in this matchup. It's just a horrible matchup.
Oh, going back in again. Shockwave again just lands on one player. Crescendo comes through, very nearly lands on all three, but actually just catches the side of Digger. And now you can see Woolite coming in with all of the damage. He's going to be popping in, gets his triple kill, looking for his Quadra, and will probably secure it. Indeed he does. Question is Warrior going to give him the Penta? Looks like Woolite's hungry for this one. He's going underneath the tower. He's been shielded up by Lulu. He's doing such a big amount of damage. He's the
Denied!
The ultimate denial scumbag move from Rain Esports. No Penta here.
Well, you gotta give him some credit there. That was
Sunlight is not enough. We could burn like a flame through the atmosphere. Yeah. Starlight, it's calling us. Leave the ghosts of our past in the stratosphere. Oh yeah, yeah, it's calling us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hitbox TV Challenger Face-Off. It is once again the fourth game between the Unicorns of Love and Faculty. Last game went over to Faculty, and Mountain here could be in trouble as he's getting chased down here by Master of Sheepy. I think he's going to be fine, but he did get very close to death right there.
Yeah, interesting that they're then choosing to continue with the invade. Hylasang, he's a confident player on his Thresh, but it doesn't look like he wants to go for the flash hook. It does look like they are going to back out overall, but what this has allowed now is Faculty to go for the counter invade. They don't have any wards, but Obvious is going to be able to keep an eye out to see if they come into their jungle. Sigurd didn't seem to notice. It's okay, because Master Sheepy didn't want to go for it.
Yeah, Sigurd could have been in quite a bit of trouble if Master of Sheepy decided to go for it, but of course Master of Sheepy didn't quite know who was in that brush near the red buff, which could have been bad for him as well. Obviously, trinkets are still on cooldown, so we won't see those deep trinket wards, and everyone is just going to start off their own red buffs, it seems, or the blue buff rather here, for Obvious on that Kha'Zix, and the red buff for Master of Sheepy on the Xin Zhao. And that's going to be that. No aggression here so far.
Yeah, no, indeed. We will be seeing straight matchups, 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s. And as I said in Champion Select, I'm expecting that Hylasang and Vardags should do pretty well in this lane. Obviously, the super early game is going to go Caitlyn's way, usually, just because she's got a pushing support with her, thanks to the choice of gold item there, although actually Hylasang and Co have pushed them out, so whatever. But Caitlyn's range will be strong at this stage of the game, but I'm expecting come level 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this lane should go heavily against Faculty, short of serious jungle camping. And I'm saying that not necessarily because of the champions, I'm saying that because I think Vardags and Hylasang are very, very skilled.
Yeah, they are definitely very skilled players. Obvious right now, finishing off his red buff, could be looking for a gank near that bottom lane. We did see a ping coming down there. Ooh, Mountain actually getting hooked in, taking some good damage. Flay coming through as well. Mountain, wow, taking below half of his health. Half of his total health, of course. And that's not ideal, as Hylasang right now warding up that Tri-Brush to know when a Kha'Zix gank is coming, as we do see Master of Sheepy right now heading in towards that middle lane. Sigu could be in trouble. Zodiaz needs to land some good crowd control. Sigu is going to get slowed repeatedly. There's the knock-up. Glitterland's connecting as well. Sigu is going to be fine, but he did take a lot of damage.
Yeah, indeed. And we're also seeing in this top lane right now the standard Renekton Aurelia matchup, where Aurelia is getting bullied about right now, losing out because she has a mana pool. But obviously Prombear has pushed forward, and that could backfire for him. Xin is going to find him right here, right now.
Yeah, Prombear doing a lot of damage, but it's just not going to be enough. Gets knocked up, is forced to flash. It's also not going to be enough. First blood for Faculty, or for the Unicorns of Love. And that's going to be quite a turnaround compared to last game.
Yeah, last game definitely didn't have the best luck with their ganks, but part of that was just because they were the ones playing the advantage matchup in the one-on-one in top lane. And we did actually also see a little bit of an engage there. Exhaust used by Mountain. Both combat summoners still up for the bot lane of Unicorns of Love. They have got the wave pushing right now, though, so Faculty have got at least a brief window of advantage in that lane.
Alright, so Faculty freezing up this lane. Two more waves are coming in from both sides, as Vardags and Hylasang are hanging back here. Don't want to get caught again by Mountain, who did burn his exhaust to get some damage on Vardags, or to enable Cedrion rather to get some damage on towards Vardags. Vardags right now, as I said, hanging back, throwing out those piercing lights, and being sure he doesn't get caught, doing a lot of damage to those waves. And he does have a good amount of crowd control now. Master Sheepy is waiting there behind. Hylasang could be waiting for a lantern, but that isn't coming up in another 6 seconds or so, so he's just going to back off to base.
Yeah, meant he was there just in case something went down there, but the enemy bot lane was going to recall anyway, so this is just going to be the push out, the swap up, and then the recall, I expect, for Vardags and Hylasang. They might choose to kill one more wave before they do that. That would make a decent amount of sense. But right now, the next place likely to have some action going down is this top lane, because Obvious is there. But Vizixachi played it pretty smart, because he has warded that brush, and he knows exactly what Obvious is about.
Yeah, Obvious was spotted out there by the ward. But Vizixachi is going to force back under his turret now. Prombear trying to get some damage on towards Vizixachi. There's Ignite. Vizixachi being forced to flash. And Prombear taking control of this lane.
Yeah, that is a bad thing that Vizixachi just did. He obviously didn't want to lose that many creeps, but he just had no choice. He had to bite the bullet and do it, or wait for Master Sheepy, because now, even though Master Sheepy is here, he can't get to those creeps either. Whereas before, if they backed off, lost a couple of those creeps, maybe they could have forced their way to the tower for the 2-on-2 and then been able to save those creeps. But now, that's a really big loss of experience and gold for Vizixachi, and that means Prombear is going to stay ahead in that lane for a long, long time to come. I don't think they can kill him here, even if it was only a 2-on-1.
Oh, Master of Sheep, all that damage coming on towards him, trying to get under that turret, trying to turn it around on towards Obvious. Good knock up on towards Prombear right now, and he will be able to survive it, but the minions take him down in the end as Prombear switches his focus towards Vizixachi, who will be able to get out, but minions OP.
Yeah, they finished off the tower, so they re-aggroed onto the nearest available target. Just so happened to be Master Sheepy, who could not move an inch out of that place where he already was, because if he moved an inch away, he would have walked straight into the Dominus damage, and even one tick of that probably would have been enough to take him down. So, yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate one there, but obviously that was why Faculty went to the fight. They felt they could win it. They were correct.
And Prombear not done here just yet. Vizixachi trying to get on towards Obvious, who will be forced to flash, but he did secure the red buff as Master of Sheepy right now trying to chase down Prombear. He's 2 levels down, and so he is going to decide against chasing down Prombear, which is probably a wise choice, as of course Prombear is a very, very scary crocodile, and he'll just decide to stay in this lane a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's going to be able to apply so much pressure. They can rotate him down, go for the dragons that will come up, or will be relevant very, very shortly, because now we're starting to get to that point of the game where, as opposed to the very early game where the dragon really isn't worth that much, starting to get to be pretty much a worthwhile objective to trade for a tower right now. I'm going to say as well, Hylasang is not actually doing quite as much as I've come to expect from him from the previous times I've seen him. Obviously, that's credit to his opponents as much as it's a detriment to himself, so we'll see if he's able to turn anything around. But now it does start to feel, again, like Unicorns of Love are going to be reliant on their bot lane.
Yeah, Cedrion and Mountain on the other side doing a good job in keeping up with Hylasang and Vardags. You do have Master of Sheepy actually taking that blue buff. So Diaz and Master of Sheepy right now might be looking for gank, as you said in the last game. Or they're not looking for the gank, they're looking for the dragon. Good roaming potential there on the Lulu. Hylasang and Vardags will be joining them. Vizixachi rotated over here as well. And that dragon is just getting blown up very, very quickly. Nothing and Faculty could have done about it, and now Mountain might be in trouble. They dive on towards him. Box coming down. That is going to zone the rest of Faculty, and it's going to secure them the kill.
Strange decision making from Faculty, though. They had the position there, if they wanted to force that dragon. They had the much, much stronger top lane, and Prombear, he went back to top lane to farm it, but he's going to just get back in time to see Vizixachi clear the wave. He's not really achieved much there. He's maybe increased the individual gap between him and Vizixachi by a tiny fraction, but that's definitely not worth it compared to what it's cost his team there. So, odd decision making, and it may even translate to a bottom tower as well. Certainly going to take a big bit of damage.
Yeah, there's no one near, aside from Cedrion, of course, defend that one. Luckily for Cedrion, those minions are going to get finished off by the turret and himself. So Vardags and Hylasang won't be taking this turret for now. Mountain getting there as soon or as quickly as he can. So you do see Prombear just sticking around in that jungle of Master of Sheepy, who is right now trying to finish off that large Wraith. But Obvious and Prombear trying to do what they can about this. That large Wraith is going over towards Obvious. I think in the end didn't quite catch that one, as they both, on both sides of the map, disengage.
So, push coming in the mid lane now in Faculty. Looking towards that mid tower. They will obviously be playing the pushing game straight up. Orianna versus Lulu. We've seen this matchup already today. Doesn't go anywhere fast.
Ooh. Hook in that bottom lane on towards Cedrion. Ignite has landed. Hylissang trying to do what he can. Solar Flare completely whiffing.
Wow.
Hylissang diving under the turret. One more tick would have done it. Culling is going to pick it up. However, Fardock's doing a good job, taking a lot of damage in return, but he managed to secure the kill.
Wow, so they do finally come good there in the bottom lane. I mean, obviously Hylissang set up the dragon kill as well on Leona, so you can't say he's been doing badly, but they finally managed to secure their lead very, very well there. They've gotten the tower, they've gotten the CS advantage, they've gotten the kill advantage. Now they need to be effective in how they rotate. They need to be effective in countering enemy pushes.
Yeah, Zodiaz in that middle lane being forced to use that wild growth. Shockwave is going to pull him back in, but is it going to be enough to secure the kill? No, it is not. Zodiaz gets out alive, but I might not be able to say that one as well for the turret, as that one is going down very, very quickly. We do have Master of Sheepy being very low, trying to get there as soon as he can. So is Vizixachi, not quite as low as the rest, but he gets dived upon by Obvious, trying to do what he can, taking a lot of damage. Vizixachi throwing out those Transcendent Blades, but it's not going to save him, as I feel like that was just him getting outplayed.
Yeah, he shouldn't have tried to come in from that angle to join up with his team. As it happens, Vardags and Hylissang finally arrive in this mid lane, but now they have to go back to the bottom lane. And this is going to be the best thing in Faculty's bot lane can do. They need to shove out and they need to keep the enemy bot lane as much as they possibly can in the bottom lane. That way their solo laners and their jungler, who is so far ahead now, can just continue to apply, take towers, and just win the game for them. And Caitlyn will catch up if they keep doing that, because obviously Vardags and Hylissang will be dividing their attention, whereas Mountain and Cedrion, they can just keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
Yep, and they will do so. For now, just, well, not really pushing up this lane very hard, but they are certainly pushing it a bit, as we do see Prombear right there, waiting in that brush. Could be looking for a gank, will get spotted out by that pink ward. Obvious is going to walk in towards that one. We'll see Master Sheepy getting close, but he's going to take out that pink ward regardless, and that will be a nice little bonus for him when it comes to gold, and of course some vision denial on the side of the Unicorns of Love.
Indeed. Now, right, okay, so Master Sheepy looking for this gank on the mid lane here. Sigu going to be a little bit difficult to pin down, though. There's no one really to follow up. Zodiaz coming in.
Yeah, Zodiaz coming in there as well. Sigu and a lot of trouble. A three-man Shockwave is going to save Sigu for now. Ignite is going to run out. Zodiaz taking a lot of damage. Beautiful Shockwave.
Really, really good, and it kept him alive there, because otherwise he would have totally been murdered. And that also means that Vizixachi, who is rotated away very smartly, once again, getting away from the one-on-one with Prombear, hasn't been able to get anything from it this time. So the individual gap has increased between him and Prombear, and the actual benefit there has, well, not materialized that time, as compared to the Dragon play, where it really definitely did work out. Mountain gets hooked, but don't really think there's much going on down there.
Yeah, the Flay doesn't quite get the follow-up on that one. Culling is going to clear out that wave, which will get pushed in towards this turret. Mountain trying to farm it up. Oh, but he doesn't have enough attack damage on those auto attacks, so he will not be getting any of that farm. Also because Cedrion joined the party, and he'll be taking some of that farm for himself. Master of Sheepy and, of course, that bottom lane did recall. Bloodthirster finished here on Lucian. On the other side, Caitlyn did finish her Bloodthirst as well, but she only has the Boots of Speed, where Vardags also has the Berserker's Greave, so he's going to have a bit more attack damage, attack speed rather.
Yeah, and we're also entering the trough period in Caitlyn's power curve. She's much weaker at this stage of the game than pretty much any other, and she's also behind the curve, so she's just going to be she's still, you know, she's still respectable. Piltovers will hit for a decent amount. Ace in the hole. She'll have the trap. She'll have the net. She'll have the range, which is always good, which means she can do more damage more safely. But compared to Vardag, she's not going to have the same emphasis, and it's going to be really important in this upcoming fight. There is no way out.
Mountain throwing in that solar flare. Shockwave coming in. That's going to pull in 2 members, but it's not going to be enough to finish someone off. Mountain being forced to flash. Dragon did go over to Zodiac. Now obvious in trouble with the picks on himself. It's not going to pick him up, and it's going to be no kills, or 1 kill rather, on Prom Bear, as they did pick up the Dragon as well on the side of the Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, nice pickup there by them. Pretty fortunate that they got that as well. Lulu was the one that picked up the actual kill on the Dragon, so no smite needed here. And that also converts into the mid tower. So Heidesan goes for the flash.
Oh, flash hook in towards Seagull. Seagull getting deleted from the map. Vizikchachi picking up the kill.
Oh no!
And, right now Vizikchachi with the wild growth on himself. Double kill picking up for himself. Moving in on towards Cedrion. Cedrion might be able to defend this one, or will he, because he gets knocked up. Heal coming through. Here's Prom there to finish off Master of Sheepy, but Vardarks picks up Cedrion, gets out with a lantern. It's a 3-for-1.
So they definitely took a big chunk of gold back. Their Unicorns of Love propelled themselves from probably being, what, 1,000 gold behind to 3 in front. That's a huge swing for their team. Means they're now definitely in the driver's seat. Aurelia will be starting to catch up now to Pronbear, who is built a Tiamat, so he's going to be relatively squishy, and Vardag's actually there. Had to be a little bit careful about his recall, but with this advantage now, Unicorns of Love, they can apply map pressure with Vizikchachi because he's got teleport, and his counterpart does not. And they've got a really strong team fight because Caitlyn is so weak right now. Orianna is like the only thing that's going to hold team fights together for InFaculty.
Alright, so I'm not sure whether you saw it, but actually Pronbear decided to burn his flash to try and chase down Zodiaz, which is really unfortunate, because a good call the meek, or a good stun on top of a flash, of course, from Pronbear in a team fight can really screw things over on the side of the Unicorns of Love. But having burned that one and not getting anything in return is more than less than ideal. That's
more than less than ideal. Okay, so right now, that was actually an interesting thing here, because Unicorns of Love basically just predicted the rotation from Renekton, and they wanted to get the kill on him. But he obviously saw with a ward, and it did seem like they hadn't taken account of the fact it could be warded. Wasted a little bit of time, but still definitely worth it, since Renekton got nothing done, and now they're going to be able to siege in this as well. I don't think InFaculty can very safely engage this. Now with 4, if they're under the tower, they can. But the emphasis is on Unicorns of Love. They put themselves in this position. They've got to go in.
Careful of getting flayed back, and the Shockwave indeed can really decimate the team on the side of the Unicorns of Love. They're going in hard here. They did manage to finish off one turret. Now looking for blood on that inhibitor turret. Mountain trying to do what he can. There is the ball coming in there. It's not going to be in a good position for a Shockwave whatsoever here. Is it Chachi just finishing off all of those minions? Obvious looking for a leap from the side. But the team on the side of the Unicorns of Love are sticking together and not drawing any casualties.
I've got to say there, I'm surprised InFaculty didn't seek the engage on the inner tower there. There was a heavy commitment from Vardax, and yes, he would have tried to jump out, but Leona can follow up her Zenith Blade with the Solar Flare, and then if he's used his dash, he's sitting duck for Shockwave, so even with the Wild Growth counter engage, I felt like that might have been an engage that could work for InFaculty, but clearly they disagreed, and as a result, Caitlyn's pushing the bot lane. Yes, she got an outer tower, but their opponent's got an inner, and that is obviously not going to be a good trade.
Well, we did see Mountain getting a little close to the Unicorns of Love. Luckily for Mountain, they didn't quite spot him out, so they didn't quite get a hook and a type of follow-up on him, and he lives to see another day. But the Unicorns of Love will not stop sieging here just yet, or they will at the moment I say that. So they'll back away here, and they'll probably pick themselves up something nice, and after that they might try and draw some attention from the InFaculty team towards a Baron.
Yeah, both teams have got a little bit of vision around that area right now, but you're right. Unicorns of Love might well be able to get the Baron pressure down now. They've got the stronger team fight. They know Faculty doesn't want to fight them. That means with a couple of sweepers on their side, see 3 now in fact, they can clear out the Baron pit and put that awkward situation on Faculty where they have to think, are they doing it or are they not? We have to check it or kind of call their bluff and just assume they're not doing it, because right now Unicorns of Love still looking strong. The only thing is, of course, if Unicorns of Love do start it and then get caught in the pit, they aren't so far ahead that they're guaranteed to win a fight like that, and that's a really dangerous thing for them to do.
Yeah, it really is. As Vardox right now doing some solo pushing in that middle lane. Mountain is just making sure he is a living ward for his team right there. He's going to spot out Hylissang placing a ward. He's going to know there is a ward in that brush, so they might decide to actually try and well, clear that one out. As let's see, the game is actually being paused here, which is very, very unfortunate. And let's hope that this one continues as quickly as possible.
Yes, let us hope that indeed. I believe we may actually have some stream issues going on right now, yes, which are being worked on. So we'll keep casting for the VOD, but right now, you are the only ones that can hear us, future people watching into the past. I don't know why that sounded so mystical, but doesn't really matter right now. With the full team, okay, so with disadvantage, Unicorns of Love should be able to take this dragon, but they've got to be careful, because if Vardox gets bursted out in a fight, they've got not that much. They've got, you know, decent damage coming out of Master Sheepy, decent assassination and damage coming out of his Isachi, but really nothing too spectacular. So a lot rides on him. Thus far, he's been doing a good job, and they've got Thresh and Lulu to peel for him, so there's really no reason for him to die. But if he does get caught out, if he does get pulled into a shockwave, if he does get a solar flare landed on him, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and then Faculty might well be able to clean it up, since they've got a Kha'Zix now who should have his wings by now and does in fact do so, can get the resets, can get the supreme cleanup king. Now, I'm curious as to whether this fight will actually happen on the dragon though. With the lack of vision control, it's going to be very difficult for Faculty to even approach, especially considering they know how good Hylissang is.
Hylissang was looking for a hook through that dragon wall, as apparently right now the Faculty team is having some lag, so let's hope that they resolve their issues as soon as possible. Now it appears the stream is back online, which is very, very nice, and it appears that we are going to head back in towards this game soon as well, since everyone is ready to go. So there you go, 5 seconds remaining, and we are back in this game. Mountain is going to get out alive, as we do see the Unicorns of Love closing in towards that dragon pit. It is going to respawn in 3 seconds, and we might see Faculty trying to fight this one, but I'm not too sure whether that is actually the best decision.
Very, very dangerous thing to be doing right now, and there's also the fact they know they can be bursted down quick.
That is a huge solar flare on 4 members as they dive and peel on towards Pronbear. Pronbear taking a lot of damage. Hylissang trying to turn this one around. Good calling on towards Pronbear as well. Zixachi and Master Sheepy not quite getting the kill there on towards Obvious. So we didn't quite see... we did actually see a shockwave, but I missed that one apparently. And, well, everyone peels off. Obvious makes it out alive with a sub 100 HP, but at least he made it out alive.
They got the dragon too, so when Faculty, although they're going to lose this tower, they're not going to be too unhappy with that trade. That's really not too bad. And I do just want to check with you, Nature, by the way, because I'm having some interesting spectator bugs right now. What time in the game are you at?
I am currently at 22:28.
Interesting. I am...
And I just jumped to live using J, so that should be good. Alright, so the turret went down, and I'm having some indeed
interesting issues.
Yeah, I'm having some interesting issues.
I'm thinking we might regret having clicked jump to live there.
Yeah.
It's This is very strange. And the stream went offline as well, apparently. So, all our plans go awry. The game does actually seem to be working again for me. So the client has sorted itself out again. Hopefully we'll get the stream going again at some point. But that's just how life is sometimes. Tech issues abound. Right. Both teams have managed to get themselves back kind of formed up in the mid lane, looking for the tower siege now from Unicorns of Love. They are going to have a bit of a problem, though. Obviously, there's a big risk associated when Leona is there to pin down anyone who goes too far forwards. Peel notwithstanding, they still don't want to engage under a tower. They're not that strong.
Yeah, Mountain surely did have a very good solar flare in the last fight. Well, yeah, they did have a last fight near that dragon area, of course, locking up 4 members and then allowing Obvious to get in and smite the dragon. As for now, it seems like the Unicorns of Love haven't given up sieging this turret just yet. Obvious and the rest of the team are hanging around on the side of Unfaculty, making sure this turret doesn't go down without them without them defending it, and Obvious just along the side facing off against Vizikchachi. But it seems like the Unicorns of Love are going to back off here.
Yeah, they've got a decent amount of gold to spend right now. They haven't spent since before the dragon fight, whereas their opponents, I believe, no, actually about the same amount of gold, so it doesn't really matter. But they've got to be careful about how they do this. Their opponents could easily rush to Baron. They've not got any vision control, although N-Faculty doesn't know how little vision control their opponents have, which does make that obviously a bit more of a gamble for them. It does look like right now Vizikchachi is going to go to the bot lane, push that out, and obviously he's the man with teleport. As compared to Renekton, he's going to find it much easier to split push in this late game stage.
Yeah, he'll draw some attention over towards that bottom lane, which is of course not what they want on the side of the Unfaculty team. They're giving Unfaculty a little bit of a taste of their own medicine of last game, which is interesting and of course not so nice for Unfaculty because they did very good with it last game. And right now, the Unicorns of Love are doing exactly the same with their split pushing Irelia. And right now, his counterpart doesn't have a teleport, so there's really no way for him to join a fight as quickly as Vizikchachi could do in such a situation.
Now this is an interesting choice here as well by Unicorns of Love. They put Lulu in this bottom area here, bottom area of the jungle. Has gone for a sweeper, so she did make sure there was a little bit less vision there. And it does look like they are going to go for the standard play. But that could have been punished. If she had been standing on a ward and not realized it there, could have easily been a rotation from Faculty to the Baron, and that would have put them in a very awkward situation. But having got that vision control now, it puts Faculty in a very awkward position because Irelia will be able to just continually push up and retreat whenever she thinks she might be in danger. It won't be easy for their opponents to see where she's run.
Vardak's actually taking that blue buff, not giving it to Zodiaz. He's going to have some more mana regeneration and, of course, maybe more importantly, cooldown reduction for his spells. So he'll be throwing out those piercing lights very often. And that can hurt the enemy team if they keep connecting over and over again. 2,000 gold lead only 26 minutes into this game. By the way, the Unicorns of Love are playing, I'd say they're a little bit more ahead, but apparently it's only 2,000, so they're playing pretty confident, I'd say.
Yeah, they've been playing as if they were highly ahead for a long time, because they were. But the problem is the gold gap has actually shrunk slightly, but the actual significance of the amount of gold has also shrunk. So 1k difference at like 5 minutes into the game is massive. 1k difference now, that's very, very little. That's minimal comparatively. So I are going to just have to kind of play around that and hope to increase it on this next dragon fight. Hylasang is about to be found by Mountain. This is dangerous.
Now there's a Zenith Blade, there's a Soul Flare. Ace&O came through already. Box being used in a good bottleneck. But is it going to be enough to save him? Apparently it is. Hylasang getting out alive. Culling being used by Vardox. This dragon has been started off. Sigu throwing that ball in there. Vizikchachi forming that front line. Mountain might be looking for another go here. Master of Sheepy finds from Frombear gets out safely. This dragon is still doing a lot of damage on towards the Unicorns of Love. And finally, Master of Sheepy dives in. Shockwave comes through. That is going to pull in Vardax, but it's not going to kill him. And that is a huge cooldown here blown for the Faculty team, as both teams not really wanting to tank that dragon face off against each other here. Master of Sheepy taking some damage. Obvious from the side, and spectator data is unavailable.
Well, guys, we've returned to playing League of Legends, spectating League of Legends on EU West. This is the exact bug which did have us reschedule this series in the first place, so I'm going to try reconnecting. Last night, it actually worked, having reconnected, having had this bug, so maybe we'll get lucky again. We did obviously see a couple of issues before, so technical issues abound. Sorry about that, guys. Nothing we can do about this particular issue. But reconnecting may fix it. So, giving that a try as we speak. And it's going to be a little bit interesting because we're going to have to work out what's actually happened in that dragon fight. At the moment, I'm actually going to predict that both teams will probably end up not disengaging, which is what I was going to say, because they clearly didn't, because that dragon got taken away. No idea who got it. Must have been Faculty, actually.
Yeah, and Faculty did take the dragon. And no casualties actually in that fight, I think, as the cooldown or the death timers are starting to get a little long at this point. So they must have still been dead if they had died in that dragon fight. Obvious picking up the dragon again, which he did do last time around as well. He's been on point with his smite.
I have all of the... I have everyone standing still as well. Our producer is making strange noises akin to a jazz singer, maybe. Yeah.
Yep.
So, this is one of our least favorite issues to have occur. This is obviously not something we can do anything about. I will actually, now that I come to think of it, talk to somebody about that, but I can't expect a response anytime soon, so very unfortunate. But hopefully we can get something, hopefully it'll fix, but unfortunately past experience is telling me that's quite unlikely.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure what our next step of action would be. Our case, our producer is starting to make jokes in the background, so I'll try reconnecting again here. But I don't think that is going to work, but at least we can try, of course. So dragon being picked up there by Obvious with a good smite, as I said. And if this game continues like that, we might actually have a deciding team fight in the end, because at this point both of these teams are very evenly matched.
I am still in the process of reconnecting again, so do continue. I'm not really aware of much about what's going on right now.
Alright, so I have reconnected. Apparently 2 members on the side of the Faculty have died. 2 kills going over towards the Unicorns of Love, and that is going to get them a less than 1,000 gold lead, actually, an 800 gold lead. Not too much for them right there, as it has been for the past couple of minutes. So still, these teams very evenly matched, and I'd say something is going to blow up at some point. And when that happens, or wait, I'm not even live, so I'm.
Wait, don't press it. Did you press it?
I know I didn't.
Okay, don't press it, because if you're at the same point as me, you're at 32:10, right?
Yeah.
11. Right. Because I think that's the same issue we had earlier, where we fast-forwarded it, and then it just got really confused. I'm gonna just not press that, because pressing that button may well kill us. So, you did say something might blow up. It might be the servers, or it might be my blood pressure. That is the other option. So, right now, we're just going to continue to cast it and hope it stays functional. Every time someone stands still now, everyone's like just walks a little and then stands still, I think that the server has now crashed. I'm like, oh, way up. They're still moving. So long as people keep twitching around, you know, right-clicking left and right, you need to click one school levels, then actually Prombear's in trouble.
Yeah, Prombear is in trouble. He uses the Randuin's Omen, so he's going to be fine, slowing down the entire Unicorns of Love team, who will find themselves some wards here as they start off. Are they going to start it off or are they going to bait it out? Apparently, they're going to bait it out, not starting off that Baron. Hylissang trying to do what he can. Mountain throwing in that ward, spotting out the Unicorns of Love, and they will back off here. Hylissang, however, could be looking for a flash hook, and he gets it on towards Obvious. Obvious getting blown up here. Good shockwave, however, might be enough to turn this one around. One kill being picked up by Prombear. Second kill being picked up by Obvious. He's going to leap in for the second time, being forced to flash out, but Vardak's going down as well. There's the ace in the wall towards Zodiac, not going to kill him, but that's a 3-4-0, and Faculty coming out huge.
Yeah, they pulled themselves well back into the game as it was standing already, and they are now significantly ahead. They're going to get this Baron. I do not see Zodiac being able to stop it unless he pulls some seriously heroic plays. And it turns out... Actually, whoa, Physics-Sachi!
Physics-Sachi teleporting in. Obvious going down to Zodiac as Prombear's going very, very low as well. Physics-Sachi trying to do what he can. Sigu cleaning him up at the end. Prombear right now dropping very low to the Baron. And finally, Sigu takes it down. Nice try by Physics-Sachi, but it's going to be the Baron for Faculty.
Yeah, the Home Guard teleport Irelia from the side is one of the most terrifying things you can have when you're all on about 20% HP and tanking Baron. He's gone.
Yep, we did see Zodiaz stepping on towards a Yordle snap trap. That is very, very unfortunate. Another kill being picked up here for Cedrion. That is going to give him a 300 gold bounty. As Zodiaz said, he had some tasty cake because of that Yordle snap trap.
Worth it, right?
Worth.
Perfect sense. So, the Dragon's going to go down to Unicorns of Love, I expect, but that's kind of a small prize compared to the Baron they just gave away there. And in Faculty, I mean, that last fight was basically because Unicorns of Love were like, Hylissang has flashed for this hook. We've caught Kha'Zix. Let's all just like jump straight on him, and then they all got solar flared and all got shockwave. So yeah, they may need to play their team fights a little bit more carefully and consider the AoE that they're up against next time, because that cost them pretty severely.
Yeah, the solar flare and the sunlight passive, of course, really shredding through that team on the Unicorns of Love side. As Physics-Sachi and Hylissang alongside Vardax now rotated over towards that middle lane, still putting out pressure. I'm not too sure whether they're actually in the position to do so, because the Baron is on the Faculty team. Master of Sheepy getting caught out by Obvious, or is it Obvious getting caught out? Prombear diving in there on towards Physics-Sachi, who will disengage in the end. Small skirmish right there. Once again, no casualties as Faculty start pushing up that middle lane. So Diaz could, I don't think he's going to be in trouble, but that inhibitor turret might very well be.
Going to be very much a possibility for them to siege in. They've got Caitlyn. She's now getting back to the point where she's a relevant AD carry again. She's gotten through her power trough and is now hitting her power peak, shall we say. Lucian, of course, is a very flat AD carry, just strong all the time, but well, they're not going to find it easy to stop the siege with the regen and with the range as well. So what do you do if you're in this situation? Physics-Sachi is not going to find the time to split push. That means now in Faculty they have all the options and their opponents have very, very few. But to look for an engage, if they can catch Cedrion, it could get them a fight that they could win.
Yeah, they are for now just trying to pick up this red buff. Physics-Sachi could be looking for a picker. Red buff is going to go over to Sigo. Physics-Sachi diving in there. There's a shockwave on towards Stu. But Cedrion is getting blown up. Here comes Obvious with the Void Assault. Solar Flare not quite connecting. Box in a good bottleneck situation right there. Master of Sheepy is going to go down. Obvious leaping in there. Hylissang right now. The next focus. Good Wild Growth and McKill's Crucible. But is it going to save him? The answer is no. Double kill coming in for Sigu. 11-11 and a 4,000 gold lead for Faculty.
And that was a fight where they caught Cedrion. It wasn't enough. They still didn't find the situation that could give them a teamfight win there. So what do you do? Physics-Sachi obviously got bursted out very, very early and couldn't really contribute beyond initially stunning Cedrian, but Oriana is now scaling up really, really hard, and Kha'Zix was doing a lot of work in that team fight. Vardags just couldn't get enough damage down in that fight, and the composition they're running is starting to see some problems here because their sustained damage is really not that great. Irelia is actually deceptively low. She's very, very bursty on a single target, but that's really all she does compared to other bruisers. She's actually quite low on actual sustained damage, especially considering Hiten's style is only up some of the time.
Okay, so the Baron buff just timed out just a couple of seconds ago, so they will not have that sieging tool available for a next potential siege, as we do see Cedrian right now, of course, getting killed in that last fight didn't really help him with the Baron buff, but Physics right now just trying to clear out those wards. But as I was saying, the Baron buff right there timing off, so they won't have that sieging tool anymore. Although they might actually decide to siege nonetheless, as they have quite a lead at this point. Master of Sheepy could be in trouble. Mountain will find him. There's a stun in the form of the Solar Flare. Master of Sheepy diving on towards Sigu, but it's just simply not going to be enough. Cedrion picking up that kill. He's starting to do a lot of damage, and they see Physics in that bottom lane, so they know it is a 5 versus 3 situation as they start sieging.
Oh, Sigu in a lot of trouble, but the counter engage.
Obvious jumping on towards 3 people, getting hooked back in, using that Void Assault for the damage mitigation, and he is very, very tanky indeed. Forced to flash that hook, and they will get out alive, as they will get sped up by their mid laner. It's a little bit of a messy engage right there, but at least they survived.
Very, very messy there by Faculty, and they're lucky that they didn't get a lot of deaths on their side for it. So they will be able to, get back in time, probably to save this tower, but they're certainly going to lose a bit of ground here, a bit of their presence that they previously had, and that just gives more opportunities here for Unicorns of Love. They will actually be able to take this tower because of that tank there from Physics. So very nice play by them. They were able to outfight, even though it was a 4-on-5. And, well, in Faculty, they're still not, that hasn't really changed the overall picture too much.
Alright, so the Baron and the Dragon are coming up in another minute, or another 50 seconds rather. Mountain starting to get some vision control here over that Baron area, as we do see Sigu clearing out that wave in the top lane. Huge wave right there, so that's going to get him some nice gold. Yeah, let's see how many items he has. He has completed 3 major items, now looking to finish off that Zhonyan's Hourglass next. It's going to help him if he gets dove upon by Physics or, let's say, Master of Sheepy. But we do have the Faculty team right now, once again, maybe looking to try and do what Hylissang and the rest of his team does, as Hylissang does get a hook on towards Cedrion. Cedrion taking a lot of damage, getting deleted. Solar Flare coming through is going to stun him up, but it's just not going to be enough to save Cedrion, as he just got blown up instantly. Now Mountain might be in trouble as well. Zodia's finding him. Solar Flare, or the Zenith Blade rather, coming through. Mountain getting finished off, and that is a huge pickup right there for the Unicorns of Love.
That might actually be the momentum they need to finish off the game here, because they've got a 2-man advantage. They've got a bunch of tanky players that they can afford to do stuff, and if they get hooks like that...
Yeah, Frombeer getting hooked in there. That's a good shockwave, but it might not be enough. Frombeer getting slice and dicing out there. Obvious picking up 1 kill. Might be looking for a second here on towards Master of Sheep. He was taking a lot of damage. Obvious trying to chase him down. He's getting shielded up repeatedly. This turret is falling very, very quickly. 15 more seconds until Cedrion is up and alive again. 16 for Mountain. Prombear is going to stick around in that death chamber a little bit longer than that, as Faculty managed to hold off the onslaught.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse if you think about the fact that was a 3 versus 5 in the super late game here. So, really, really is interesting stuff there. And obviously is there. The teleport coming in is just going to force him away. He should be able to get the Baron from that, and that is a big advantage. Basically off of 1 pick there, orchestrated by Hylissang. But it still doesn't close out the game, and these team fights, if they were on equal terms without Cedrion being caught all the time, I gotta say, it seems like it would be an advantage. And the game did freeze there for a second, but it wasn't actually a problem.
Let's hope that it doesn't freeze again, because that would be very, very unfortunate. For now, however, we do see Faculty trying to get themselves a consolation prize in the form of that dragon, which will go over towards them. Of course, the dragon is worth quite a lot at this point in the game, so it's going to be a nice little pickup for them as they get themselves a 2,000 gold lead because of that. But that kill on towards Cedrion was crucial right there for what might be a comeback here for the Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, quite a swingy game so far. We've had advantages on both teams. I'm not really sure who's going to come out ahead. I mean, it's not easy to call at all. Both teams now have relatively strong team fights at this point, but they're both very dependent on their carries surviving in order to output a lot of damage. Less so for Faculty. They've got other damage sources. They've got Kha'Zix. They've got Orianna. Renekton, though, at this point, he's enough damage that an AD carry isn't going to want to tank it, but the other guys really aren't going to be that concerned about his output. So it's basically just going to come down to who can get the best team fight at this stage. The Baron buff obviously will mean that Unicorns of Love want to force a fight themselves while they've got that, and they've got an inhib open to do it, but they don't want to force too hard because a bad team fight position now is much more important than that buff.
Yeah, they'll stick around in their own jungle for now. It doesn't seem like they'll actually want to force a fight at this point, even though it might be best for them, but they're not too far ahead. Or they're not ahead whatsoever, so they're actually 2,000 gold behind here. As we do see them grouping up near the bottom side, slowly grouping up, that is, near the bottom side of that jungle. Zodiaz and Master of Sheepy getting over there very, very quickly with some nice vroom vroom sounds. And they will start to siege up that bottom inhibitor turret, as they'll probably send Physicshachi over towards that middle lane to start split pushing that inhibitor. And Faculty is in a bit of a dangerous situation here.
Yeah, indeed. They've got a lot of hard engaged tools, but they don't really want to do it while the enemy has the Baron. So it's actually going to be Master Sheepy kind of bluffing maybe, but the Banshees are down.
Oh, Physicshachi right there, getting forced away by Mountain. Ball is on towards Mountain, getting hooked in there. There's the Solar Flare on towards him. Shockwave coming in on towards Stu. Hylissang taking a lot of damage, not going down, however. And it is once again Faculty holding off for now. But it seems like the Unicorns of Love aren't done here just yet. Trying to get down. This inhibitor flash hook is not going to land this time around. Hylissang. Ace in low coming through. Ooh, good leap there from Physicshachi to get in between that Ace in the hole and its target. And well, the inhibitor went down, and Faculty not really getting the better of that trade.
Yeah, the inhib went down, but it was a close fought thing there, so still kind of clinging on here. Both teams are showing signs that they could crack soon, but it's very hard to call which one is which. We're hitting the point now of item caps. We're hitting the point now where Kaelin is actually, I think, fully built. Indeed, hasn't got a boot enchantment, and maybe in the super late game she might replace it with a Zephyr. But as it stands right now, it's too close to call, and just one bad team fight now could be the end of it. And the thing about that mid inhib is because it's the middle inhib, it's going to be relatively easy for Faculty to respond to the pressure that creates, while also defending their upper or lower towers.
Yeah, for now they're going to stick very close to their base, and they'll try and clear out those waves as quickly as they can. Don't want to overextend too far out of their base, as of course there's always that pick potential. Hylissang did get some good flash hooks. This one in the last fight he didn't quite manage to land, but so far he's really been on point with most of his hooks, and it seems like the Unicorns of Love want to start sieging here again.
What is Obvious doing? What is he doing? This is a terrible place to be. His team cannot defend a 4v5 dive. This is too late in the game. Towers do not do enough damage. That is way too risky for him to be up there. And that lane was pushing anyway. That would have built a slow pushed wave. It's now going to build a much smaller wave, which means they get less benefit if they're able to defend for it.
Obvious racing to rejoin his team right there. Hylissang not quite landing this hook on towards Mountain as finally Obvious joins his team fight, or his team rather, and he might be looking to force away the rest of his team, or the rest of the Unicorns of Love, but the Unicorns of Love are sticking around here. There's the ball. Firedogs will have that Banshee's Veil if the Shockwave comes through, so they really need to try and blow that one up. As Obvious is, well, trying to clear out these minions as quickly as he can. But, oh, there's the hook on towards Prombear. Is it going to be enough for them to go in? No, it's not really the target they want, but they did get a lot of damage on towards him.
Yeah, they most certainly did. And Cedrian actually only just barely held on to one of the Nexus towers there, having to defend the minions. But you can see why the middle inhib is a less difficult thing to deal with there, because he was able to respond to that, but he was close enough that the Unicorns of Love didn't dare go for the engage. So they cling on yet again. The Baron comes up in 50 seconds. The Dragon is up in 25, but at this point, Dragon is very, very little value when you've got gold-capped characters. So close run stuff again. Master Sheepy was just taking the big jump, and Obvious. If he'd gotten over that, I'm doubtful as to whether they'd have caught him, but it would have forced the flash.
Oh, Hylissang with a beautiful dodge right there, just dodging everything thrown at him and laughing it off in the end. I didn't quite expect him to dodge all of that, as he dodged a Solar Flare and a Zenith Blade on the back of that. It's some fancy feat right there.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear Master Sheepy didn't expect it either, because he tried to ult to knock away Leona when she Zenith Bladed, but she never connected the Zenith Blade, so he just kind of hit some air. And it clearly did surprise him, and the cooldown's pretty short now, so he's not going to be too worried about that, but it does mean that he doesn't have it for the immediate future, and the inhib did just respawn, and then Faculty has the vision control, so once again, having lost some ground due to those picks earlier on, they seem to have put themselves back in the driving seat just about, but they don't have the vision clear right now in order to go for the Baron themselves, which means they're kind of left sat here, and that bottom wave might be a little bit of an issue for them.
Yeah, they'll probably want to try and do something about it. We do see a ping on the side of the Unicorns of Love coming down there, so they know that this one is going to build up, as they have sent Prombear over there. Prombear doesn't have a teleport. This could be bad for the In-Faculty team if the Unicorns of Love decide to start off this Baron, which they in fact do. Prombear racing over there to get there as soon as he can. Mountain is trying to do what he can to get in there. This Baron is dropping very, very low. Obvious needs to do something about it. There is the smite, and he gets it. He gets the Baron, and they try now and clean this one up. Good Shockwave is going to do a lot of damage. Obvious with the McKill's Crucible flashing out there. Physic's actually taking a lot of damage as he flashes on towards Sigu. Sigu right now getting shot down, finally getting picked up right there by Master of Sheepy. Cedric right now taking a lot of damage as well. Zodiac's picking him up. Prombear taken very, very low. The only remaining member aside from Obvious. They get the Baron, but they lose for members. This is going to be game.
Yeah, that will indeed be game, especially considering Vizixachi has got his teleport. He's still got his home guard. He's going to be able to join up with the rest of the team, make a minion invulnerable, and we have the surrender vote coming in there. So one last team fight at the end there, and honestly, I don't think Prombear and In-Faculty in general should have rotated anyone down to stop that bottom wave. I think they should have just let it crash on the tower. It would have lost health, most definitely. Might even have lost half of its health, but that was a full health inhib tower. No way it would have gone down to just that wave. And the late arrival of Prombear to that fight, and in fact the fact that Cedric got focused out while still having his flash, was a big factor in why they lost the game there. So that brings us now to equal footing, 2-2 in the overall best of 5 series. We're looking for a deciding game now, and we're gonna have to hope that it's a close. I don't know what I'm hoping for actually. I hope it is a good one, but I don't have to hope that. There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game 5. Stick around because the deciding match is going to be epic if it's anything like this one.